Hello everybody, it's Tuesday, April 18th, 2017. I am back at on the Freedom Trail, start of the Freedom Trail at the Yurt. It looks like everything's still kind of held together since last night, since I had to leave the other day. My poles are still here, got my new supplies here, even brought myself some water here. But it looks like the camp has had a visitor. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's a hole. This is fresh digging. And I know, I'm pretty sure it wasn't from my pole. It looks like an animal has been here digging. Don't know what it is. Probably the armadillo, maybe? Or raccoon. But it looks like animals definitely coming here. I might have to get some mothballs or something to try to dissuade the animal from coming. But we're gonna try to enforce the structure a little bit more, reinforce it, and then start to lay down the actual coverings. I had gone to the store to look at paint, but I couldn't really afford it, and I don't want to sink too much money in because money's really tight right now. So we're going to go ahead and go with the blue covering here. The cheap blue $1 tarp from the Dollar Tree. I bought 10 of them. Actually, I bought 7, and I took the 3 clear plastic bags that I had planned on using before and traded them in. So we've got 10 of those. I think will be enough to cover this whole building. Now, most of this building is under the trees overhead here, the leaves, so even though it's bright blue, it should be kind of hidden. But this part right here is kind of exposed. So I think the flying men will probably see it when they fly over. Like right now, they might not notice it, but when it's bright blue, I'm pretty sure they'll notice it. So we'll go ahead and get started. Well, I've added as many reinforced beams as I could to the ceiling before running out of ties, which is kind of bad. I should have bought more, because I think the more I can reinforce, the stronger the structure will become. But I've run out. So at this point, I think I'm going to try putting up the walls. Now I do have some more tape that I just bought, some more duct tape, and I do have, I think, the string somewhere here. I had bought, originally, I had thought of buying nylon string, but then I saw this, it says jute twine, and it's like natural. So I think jute is like natural, so I decided to go with this versus the cotton twine ball. We're going to be using that to tie things down, so we'll see how that works. Meanwhile, I did test this already by pulling this out, and it looks like the roof is holding, so you can see here, I'm going to take that off. You can see my beam is down. And now we're going to take apart the other beam. You can see it moved a little bit, but the roof itself is staying up. Sort of. I think it's still collapsing on that side right there, so I think I'm going to have to put the beams back. It stays up, but I think some weight on it will make it collapse, so I'm going to put the beams up for now until I can reinforce it some more. As you can see, I've started to put up the panels here for the wall. I basically am attaching them with the jute twine because I'm out of the zip ties. Out of these little zip ties. So I'm using jute right now to tie it down. You can see I'm leaving a gap here because, one, the sheet isn't tall enough to reach completely to the ceiling, but that's okay. I may cover this up with more of this material, or I might put up some mosquito netting along the whole roof structure, along the top part where it's exposed, just to get some air circulation in here, because this stuff will hold moisture. So by leaving it exposed, I can, you know, kind of let it vent and air out and not get all damp in here. I don't know if this is actually going to hold, but we'll put it together and we'll see what happens. You can see we currently have 2 panels up. This is a view from the inside. It is kind of windy, but the panels seem to be holding. I've just basically been securing them by poking holes and tying them to the framing. Probably gonna have to poke some more holes and tie it in a little bit tighter. The gap up here is being left so that I can put in some mosquito netting later. Let air blow through. It's to the top. I might leave a gap down on the bottom there for air to blow like from top to bottom so we get some kind of decent airflow, not just across the top. Or I might just leave it on open. I don't know. This side's probably low enough that it'll cover. But I'm going to have some windows and stuff up here. Anyhow, I've left a little bit of looseness on the bottom here. Just a slight, like about 1 inch or 2. Because I plan on staking it down all along the edge here. We'll have to make tent stakes or get some. But I'm probably going to try to make them. Just because we're trying to do this low cost and use existing materials. So I may end up using more of the fronds to make some stakes and stake this whole thing down here. But that's the plan. There's a little bit of an overlap here, so we can tape it together later to try and make a good seal so that mosquitoes and whatnot don't get through. And we're getting ready to do another piece right over here, and that'll be our 3rd panel. It's actually kind of time consuming to put these panels up. I thought it'd go pretty fast, but it's taking a while to poke the holes and put everything down. Been securing it. I've got 3 of the panels up and decided that, you know, instead of leaving the bottom sticking out to stake down, it's probably smarter to tuck it underneath the ribbing. So I put it under the ribbing, and I may end up having to cut a little bit off here to lower the height of the girt by 1 inch or so. Maybe. And then what I can do is stake down the tarp on the inside. So the outside will look nice and clean, and inside is where I'll stake it down, and then maybe I can lay down another flooring down here if I feel like it, although I'm thinking of just leaving it as a dirt floor here. Because I'm not really going to live out here, you know. This is just for practice and just to see what could be done, even with very limited stuff, using the fronds and very cheap materials. But the wall's actually holding up pretty well. I don't know if you can hear the wind here. It is fairly windy, but the wall's holding up. The ceiling still needs a bit more reinforcement, I think. Yeah, it definitely needs more reinforcement, especially at this corner right here. Let's see how it goes down and sags. I need to tighten that up, I think, a little bit. I may need to keep the beam up there. But anyhow, we're going to go ahead and continue and see how far we can get with putting up the wall panels. Alright, as you can see, I've got some of the wall up, about halfway up. Haven't done this side yet. And it is getting late, so I'm getting ready to head out. I hear what sounds like the others. I hope they're not over at the camp, because that's where my van is. I think we got like 1, 2, 3, about 4 more panels to go. But I think we're going to run out of panels. But I have to leave because it's, I know you can't tell in the video, but it is starting to get dark. So I think I'm going to call it a night. Maybe I'll do 1 more panel. I think I'll do 1 more panel and then call it a night. Don't know if it's going to hold. I hope there's no storm because it's not as secure as it could be. You can see it's still loose. I only have a couple ties. I only tied it down in a couple spots. But it's starting to look like I guess it's starting to look like a structure now. Let's see what it looks like inside. It's the blue room. You know, it's kind of interesting that it's blue. I think this is accidental that it is blue, but you know, the vehicle's blue, little blue, and even the outhouse is blue. It looks like everything I'm building is blue. And it's not even by choice. So, this is our pseudo yurt. With the walls mostly up, and hopefully I'll be able to finish it up over the next couple of visits. Alright, it is getting late, the sky is getting dark, and it might even rain. I hope this thing doesn't collapse because of the rain and wind. Kind of windy out here, not as windy as the other couple days, but it is somewhat windy, and the sky is kind of overcast, looks like it may rain. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I was able to put up 7 panels, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 panels, and I had 3 more left, which might just be enough. 1, 2, 3, which may be just enough to cover this open area right here. This area here I went a little too tight, I think. I may have to redo it. But I think I can get all the walls with my other 3 pieces. But that means the roofing still needs to be done. So I don't know how many pieces it'll take. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Could take as many as 6 or 10 more to do the roofing with the same material. And I do still need to stabilize it. It's able to hold itself up, but it kind of bends down a little. And what I'm afraid is when it rains, it may collapse. So I may go ahead and design it with the poles in place. The center pole to kind of help hold up the roofing. So it doesn't collapse. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and pray that it doesn't rain tonight and the structure doesn't fall down. But this is what it's looking like right now. Ow, just hit my head. Anyhow, until next time, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we'll be able to finish up the wall and maybe even the ceiling or the roofing, if not all of it. We can get started on it next time.